Guys, I was not planning on doing another video, obviously, until I just saw this. Trump on November 2nd, blowing the trumpet. Blatant as you can get, using sexual connotations. Blowing the trumpet on November 2nd. And I posted this morning about on November 1st, look what YouTube did on November 1st. November 1st, YouTube had a little birthday icon in the upper left. And if you know your calendars, which obviously I think I do, look at November 1st. November 1st was the 28th, okay? The 28th was November 1st. The day we were looking at, 128, leave the world behind, and we were looking at this date, the 29th. So 128, November 1st. 8, look at that, 28, okay? Now, what day is the 28th on our January calendar? The 28th was right here, right before the day we were watching, January 29th, 129, which was November 2nd. So on the 28th, they had a birthday cake on YouTube. And we know, as I've said in multiple videos, this month 11 in January, the Jews use two calendars. So this month 11, if it's more than 6, if it's more than 7, you minus 6. So this is 11 minus 6. 11 minus 6 is 5, okay? So this date right here, the day that they had that birthday cake was 528. So let's go to the Torah calendar on the date 528. Guys, look at this date, 528 on the Torah calendar. 528. Look at that date, August 4th, Obama's birthday, precisely connected to this past Friday, November 1st. Why is that important? Look. So November 1st was Tishri 30, okay? Look at that, 3. Zero's not a number. So the third, 1-3. Look at the date on November 4th, 1-3. 1-3. But this is even crazier. We know, like I just said, the Feast of Trumpets is a 3-day festival of trumpets being blown for 3 days. 3 days, the Feast of Trumpets. And what happened on the first day, November 2nd, the 29th? It is not a coincidence that Donnie Darko and Terminator and Day of Judgment, International Day of Judgment, and 9,000 other things were connected to September 26th and October 26th. That is not a coincidence. 6s or 9s. They're giving you the date, the 29th, which is exactly our date, November 2nd. It's a 3-day festival. And on that exact day, you got the trumpet blowing headline all over mainstream media. Give me a break. So this is what I posted earlier. As you may have noticed, the Torah and Hebrew calendars are 2 days apart. This isn't mere coincidence that Donnie Darko, the 222, September 26, and so many other connections all line so perfectly. When September ends, there are no more calendars. This is why I'm telling you, promise you this is the last video because there are no more calendars. September ends. But look at this. The reason I'm bringing this up is because look what I wrote. YouTube had a birthday cake logo on November 1st. I wrote that 7 hours ago. Check out what the Q PSYOP just posted. We know this is a Jesuit Q PSYOP that all the dumb Trump morons fell for. But this PSYOP right here now that it's so made fun of and nobody looks at it, they put up the real stuff. Look what they just posted 2 hours ago. Happy birthday? And whose birthday is tomorrow on November 4th? Guys, look what month we're in on the Hebrew calendar. Shezvan. Shezvan means 8. 8-4. That is Obama's birthday. And they just posted about a birthday, and I posted about a birthday earlier, and the holiest day on the satanic calendar is one's own birthday. And when is Big Mike's birthday? Big Mike's birthday is January 17th, the day I've talked about in every video. When is Barack Obama's birthday? It's August 4th. They have the same fake 2 birthdays, January 17th and August 4th. January 17th is the start of the Feast of Trump, the coded Feast of Trumpets right here on the 2nd, November 2nd. You think that Terminator being Judgment Day on 8/29 is just a coincidence? You think I didn't know that? I mean, I obviously didn't know that, but you think I just magically picked 8/29 without even knowing that? The reason I picked 8/29 is because this month was Tishri. Tishri means 1, and that was our September 26th connection. There is no other day that's Christmas at ground zero. There is no other day that you can have Christmas in July, like I said earlier, without being in July. What month are we in? When does September end on this calendar? September ends in the middle of November 3rd. November 3rd starts midday Sunday, our November 3rd. It goes through midday on tomorrow, on November 4th. So after midday is when when September ends. Literally, month 1 ends, September ends, and on the other calendar, you're in month 2. So month 1 ends here. This is how they hide it. It's a 3-day festival, and on the first day, you got Trump blowing headlines all over mainstream media just by coincidence. And then you got a birthday headline coming up. The Q PsyOp posts a birthday headline, but look at this. I cannot figure out Blondie. Look at this. Before I show you Blondie, look at the date right here on November 3rd. It's the 9th, okay? The 9th on the Torah calendar is on November 4th, the first day, 9. Look at that number, 9, okay? And the day tomorrow on the other calendar is 3, because the calendars are 2 days apart. So look at that, 9-3. If we go back to this calendar, pay attention if you want to know this, 9-3, look at 9-3, November 6th, okay, 9-6. Nothing will happen on November 6th or November 5th. It's got to be before the election. So you got 9-6 coded right here on this day, November 4th, okay? And also, what does Shezvan mean? Shezvan means 8. And what does Oct mean? It means 8. Oct. That means 10-3 right there. 10-3 and 9-6 are both on November 4th. Why did I bring that up? Because it's New Year's Eve. Look at this. The third day, 3 days. Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets, is a 3-day festival. And on the third day, if you go research it, on the third day is when war is declared. This is why November 2nd was so coded. The 29th, right here, was beyond coded. This day, November 2nd, was where everything fell because 6s are 9s. You just think magically that the Mayan end of the world is 12/21. 12/21. When is 12/21? October 25th. Let's go look at October 25th. When is the 25th on this calendar? It's the 29th. Your Christmas at Ground Zero is connected to November 2nd. September 26th had all those rituals for a specific reason. September 26th was the Great 8 Day. You think there's multiple songs about the Great 8 Day just by coincidence? And when did that documentary come out about the 8 Day on BBC in 1984? Came out on the 24th, 3 days later. So November 2nd is this date right here, September 26th, November 27th, the 23rd, and 24th. This is why they said they gave you September 22nd, September 23rd, and September 24th. They gave you all 3 days. So you don't know which day it's going to fall on because the Feast of Trumpets is the only day that nobody knows the day or the hour. You have no idea if it's going to fall on the 26th, the 27th, or the 28th. And then obviously 6s or 9s. So the 26th is the same thing as Christmas, which is a little confusing, I know. Either which way, we are looking at 3 days. If you don't want to look, don't look. This is the day. What are the odds? I posted something about a birthday this morning, and then the Q PsyOp says World War III, massive invasion, all this other stuff, says happy birthday, you all. Happy birthday. Happy birthday? Whose birthday is it? Who the hell's birthday is it? It's Obama's birthday tomorrow. November 4th is Shezvan. Shezvan 4. This is why the Terminator showed 8/29. This is why everything was coded on the 17th and 18th. And look at this. So we're looking at the date, January 17th, which is the 29th. When is the 29th? The 29th, 129, is November 2nd. When is November 3rd? Right here. November 3rd is 130. And when is New Year's Eve? January 31st. When is January 31st? The 19th. So here, look at the 19th. So let's go to January 19th. January 19th, what is the date on January 19th? It's 7/11 and 119. There's your 7/11, 9/11. I was only looking at these 2 dates, January 17th and 18th, because that's what they gave you. They said World War III would start on the 17th. They had The Simpsons showing the 18th. And then they said 7/11 is 9/11, which I didn't look at this date right here. This is the day. 7/11 is 9/11. right here. This is why you got Homer Simpson sitting around those burning buildings right here on the 20th. There is no more 20 on the calendar. There is no more 120. This is the last 120 on the calendar. This is February made me shiver with every paper I delivered. Trumpet blowing on November 2nd, the trumpet blowing headlines, the happy birthday you all, from the Q PSYOP with a countdown for one more day, or 1 day and 6 hours or some nonsense to tomorrow. You got the Q PSYOP counting down to somebody's birthday tomorrow. You got YouTube on November 1st. You got YouTube with birthday symbolism right here, and we know zero's not a number, so that says 1-3, the third. And so we go to the third right here, which is November 4th. And when did the pandemic start? Circle back, y'all. Circle back, lady. November 113. The pandemic started on 3/11. 3/11. What is the date on November 4th? 113. This is it. They got to do this before the election. Iran is waiting in the wings. As you saw earlier in that post I did, that America sent live nuclear weapons to the Middle East for the first time in history. I'm telling you, this is a 3-day festival. Nobody knows the day or the hour. This is why they gave you the 29th and the 26th so hard. This is why they're doing this right here. If you don't believe in the calendars, go watch the Rapture video people then, talking about Hanukkah or some nonsense. Iran is not going to wait for the election. They're not going to wait for Hanukkah. Tomorrow, which is November 4th, if we're looking at the 22nd, this is our September 22nd connection, September 23rd, and what was Doomsday? When was Doomsday in The Simpsons and everywhere else? September 24th. They gave you September 22nd in that movie. They gave you September 23rd in all the coding, the 923 coding, and they gave you September 24th. You can't just make this stuff up. September 24th is literally the final day. It's 3 days. September 24th is on November 4th, Doomsday. It's connected to September 26th. September 26th starts it all. It's the first day of the 3-day festival. And trumpet blowing on the first day, November 2nd precisely, you have Trump blowing headlines. Look at all these headlines they want you to see. Trump appears to emulate sex act on microphone. Trump blowing, Trump blowing, Trump blowing. All this happened on Saturday, November 2nd. November 2nd, the Trump was blowing right here. And they're making a funny joke or whatever connotation about it. Literally, you cannot make this stuff up. On November 2nd, the trumpet is blowing. Guys, look at the Julian date on November 4th, October 22nd. Are you kidding me? That's the date we were looking at, October 22nd. I kept saying 21st, 22, October 22nd. And what does Shezvan mean? Shezvan means 2. There's your 222 connected to November 4th. You can't connect November 5th to that day. You can't connect November 6th. But why did I show you earlier that November 6th was the 3rd. Okay, we're not watching November 6th, obviously, but that was 9/6. Okay, the 3. You see the 3? And now, this date right here on November 4th is 3. There's your 3. Why is that important? Look at this. I just showed you 9/6 and 10/3. Shezvan means oct, so 1/3, 10/3, and 9/6 on New Year's Eve, as I showed you on the January calendar. New Year's Eve, December 31st. Look, guys, what does that say? That literally says December 31st, 9/6, and 10/3. When is 10/3? 10/3 is November 4th, and when is the 22nd on the Julian calendar? November 4th. When is November 2nd? November 2nd is right here on the 29th. When's November 3rd? On the 30th. When is nuclear war start? On the 3rd day. The 29th is where you're looking at. The 29th. We're looking at the 29th. Right here, they showed you right here. Then they showed you December 30th. And then they show you right here on literally the day, the 3rd day, they show a nuke going off. November 4th is the 3rd day. Right here. And why they show you 9/1? When was 9/1? 9/1 was the end of November 2nd into November 3rd. And then they show you December 29th. So all this is connected. And what are the odds? The 22nd and the 27th, I shall utterly burn her with fire in one day. They're literally connecting Shimshat Torah, Shemini Azrat, the Feast of Trumpets, and the 3 days, trumpet blowing. And Iran is still waiting in the wings the night before the election, November 4th. How is this connected? I don't know. Is it the day? I don't know. But this right here, the Terminator on 8/29 was not a coincidence. All those 17/18 coding was not a coincidence. All this stuff is not just by happenstance. I just didn't make up the 222. I didn't make up the movie Donnie Darko and write the numbers on his arm, 826 and 1224, precisely connected to October 26. I wasn't even alive back then, I don't think, when Donnie Darko was made. I didn't do the documentary called The Great 8 Day and the song The 8 Day, both connected to nuclear war, both connected to the date September 26, which connects to our date November 2nd. I didn't do all that, but this is on the third day, the first day, the 29th, the second day, the 30th, and then tomorrow you have the 31st. And look at the Chinese calendar. All right, guys, today I'm making this video on Sunday the 3rd, okay, November 3rd. Look at this Chinese calendar, November 3rd, October 2nd. Look what happens when I click on the 4th, okay? Look, watch this number down here when I click on the 4th. October 4th. You go from October 2nd to October 4th. Literally, where's October 3rd? It's not there, it's missing. October 3rd to October 4th, why? Because December 31st is December 31st. There's usually not 31 days. There's never 31 days, ever 31 days on the lunar calendar or the Hebrew or the Torah calendar. The only day that has 31 days is our Babylonian sun calendar. And when is December 31st? That is November 4th, the 29th, the 30th, and then the 31st. And look what date is on October 4th. The tiger. Remember this Elon? On the one that Elon posted back on May 2nd, 2022, he also posted the same exact thing, saying 2024 is going to be spicy on the date March 26th, 2024. Okay, 326, 923. What is that date? That's 329. That's November 2nd. And 2024 is going to be spicy with a tiger. And what did we just show you? That the tiger, the day of the tiger is on November 4th. November 2nd is the day. It's 3 days connected to September 26th. It's a 3-day festival of blowing trumpets. And here's Inside Edition, talking about Rosh Hashanah with a timestamp of 1331. What is the date? When is 10-3? 10-3 is on November 4th, the day of the tiger. That's why they showed you the Tiger King and tiger, all the tiger coding. This is why back during the pandemic, they had this thing called Stay the Fluck Home with the tiger. The tiger right here on the cover. Okay? Literally, it had Tiger King, tiger symbolism all that day. And November 4th just happens to be the last day of September on the Torah calendar, just like November 2nd was the last day of September on the other calendar with the tiger. It literally, right here. Are you kidding me? Look at the market. On October 30th, was that candle that's above that red line. This is a trend line. That pink line is a trend line. It's been a trend line for many a months right now. These are each one-day candles. The market on October 30th was a candle above that pink line. Hit the very top of the market. It was like it was Q's 501 or something to that sort. Q's 501, right? This is the SPY, but Q's. Let me see if I can show you. The Q's exactly on October 30th hit 501. Almost the very top, and everybody knows the double top is 503. What happened? What happened on October 31st, Halloween? Look at that massive red candle right there. Look at what the 31st was. Let's look at October 31st, Halloween. October 31st was the 29th, and you got the biggest down move in the market on the 29th on the Jewish calendar. Guys, this broke a trend line. This literally broke a trend line. When does World War III start, they said? They gave you 517. When is 517? 517, I showed in every video, is January 29th. That's connected to November 2nd. What did The Simpsons show? The Simpsons showed 518. When's 518? That's November 3rd. And then when is Doomsday? Doomsday is September 24th. When is September 24th? I just showed you September 24th is November 4th. The Feast of Trumpets blowing for 3 days. It's 3 days. Iran is waiting in the wings. They're not going to go to an election. Like I said, this is absolutely, positively the last time I talk about this, or last time I am able to post a video, because September ends. Starting at midday on November 4th, September ends on November 3rd. That's literally our Gentile day, midday November 4th at 3:20 p.m. At 3:20 p.m. Eastern, September ends, or sometime at noon, September ends. This is why you got that 3 days. That Terminator that somebody found wasn't a coincidence. 214 connected to the Terminator wasn't a coincidence. If you think these calendars are trash, you're trash. You're a knucklehead. September 26th was not just a coincidence. Hezbollah, or whatever his name was, Nasrallah, getting killed on September 26th, a day I had a month in advance, was not a coincidence. October 21st and 22nd, which is the Julian date, on November 4th, is not a coincidence. The third day, Blondie's showing a nuke going off on the third day. Right here, Blondie's showing a nuke going off, and the date is 1-3 and 9-6, which is precisely connected to November 4th, is not a coincidence. If it doesn't happen, then I guess it doesn't happen. But those are the 3 days. Day 1, day 2, and then day 3, a day that is not even showing up on the Chinese calendar. October 3rd is missing on the Chinese calendar. It's the day of the tiger, and you saw all that tiger symbolism. Iran is waiting in the wings. There's no way they go to an election. If they do, then I'm wrong. I guess I'm wrong. But this is the final video that you're ever going to see. Why? Because there are no more calendars. As I said in the post, September literally ends. It's over. September ends right here. Okay? Literally, Tishri, the month of Tishri, right here, because the calendars are 2 days apart. Literally, we had the 29th, the day of Noah. Noah was the Sabbath reading this weekend. And right here, Terminator and the rest of it, November 4th. November 4th. If it's the day, it's the day. If it's not, it's not. It's the final time I'm doing a video, because the calendar has now, as you see, we are no longer in the hunt for Red October. The month of October on this calendar, on the biblical calendar, ends. Shezvan's over. All this coding is over. It's game over right here.